Tony D and Little Joan somewhere in the background, and this is a screenwriter's rant on three movies that are basically horror movies that have sort of similar themes. The Ruse, The Severed Son, and Sketch. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 17. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Sketch stars Tony Hale. I love Tony Hale. I think he's so funny. I love him in Arrested Development. I didn't see him in Veep because I don't really watch that show. But this is from Angel Studios. And I think they actually have a decent family comedy here. Mainly because his performance, he's really good. I mean, he's so good as Buster on Arrested Development. Now, here he plays a dad, and his little girl likes to draw really scary monsters and pictures. So much so, and they get bloody, and the school calls them in for a meeting about it. She won't stop drawing crazy monsters. They're worried because, she draws bodies of people and stuff like that. And she's working through some stuff maybe, but the plot of the movie is some kids throw her notebook of sketches into the pond or the water body near the house, and somehow that makes the monsters come to life. I don't know if there's toxic waste or whatever, but then of course the monsters become real, and now we got a real problem on our hands because one of her monsters is known as the Blood Eater. Eats all your blood and then spits back all the blood at people. So it's kind of cute and kind of funny at the same time. I think the kids are going to be the main attraction in the show, but Tony Hale is a rock in this. Now, Collider, calling it a masterpiece, that kind of worries me. But Tony Hale is rock solid for this kind of stuff. He knows how to react, and he's being the worried parent this time. And here he says, that was completely horrifying, and then his daughter's like, yeah. So it's called Sketch because it's all about her sketches. And there, got some of the actors. August 6th in Angel Studios. So hopefully this could work. Angel Studios can't just rely on religious movies or movies that are political or whatever. They gotta make the move to narratives. So this could be it. Tony Hale's a decent enough name. People will recognize him. The movie looks fun. Maybe good word of mouth. I don't know. What put Angel Studios on the map was that movie about the trafficking and the way they marketed it. I'm not sure what they could do with this. Maybe they could hold like contests, the art contest for kids or something. But it looks fun. It looks cute. It looks like something you could take your kids to. And this would be a market that, in my opinion, Disney has mostly abandoned. Daily Wire tried to get into it, didn't, I don't know, kind of a mixed bag there. But this, family movies, I mean, they're still coming out. Other guys are doing them, but this could be, Angel Studios kind of is going to be one of those semi-religious production companies. You can kind of rely on them not to cross certain lines. And that'll be very appealing to people in the Midwest, religious or not, because they want to know that a brand is okay for their kids. I get that all the time at my events. People ask me, is this for kids? What grade is it for? That's like 9 times out of 10 their first question if they have kids. Now, I'm honest with them for my books. I tell them, well, there's violence and language, but I feel like everybody has to make up their own mind. I don't feel the ratings are all that good in terms of, because some people are going to be offended regardless, and you get a PG-13 rating, and other people are going to watch an R-rated movie and go, it's fine for my kid. But everybody kind of has to make up their own mind. But I get it. You want some sort of guide, and you want some entertainment that you could just go, yeah, that's fine. And that used to be Disney. But maybe it could be Angel Studios. All right. First act. She's drawing the pictures. They're having problems. Second act, throw it in the lake. The monsters come to life. Third act, they somehow make the monsters go away or get them under control. All right, the next is called The Severed Son. And this takes place in the past. I'm not sure the time period. Could be like early 1900s, 1800s. Farming community. But it's a dark horror about, I think, it's a religious community, but I think his daughter gets possessed by some sort of entity, a demon, which you see at the very tail end of this thing, just for a glimpse. She draws a picture of it. So it's kind of similar, right? It's a similar theme, whereas the previous one's funny. This one's very dark. While the previous one is just kind of fun, and it's just like monsters in her head. This one is more like, from the bowels of hell kind of thing. And it gets quasi-religious, but in a more sinister way. So, kind of hard to pick out the plot. Yeah, there he is. So that's kind of cool. So the first act, something happens, and I'm not sure what. I think they may attack his daughter. Something about her husband and father dying. Maybe they died on their own, or maybe they attempted to do something terrible to her and she reacted and killed them. I'm not sure. Something bad happened. Second act, this entity starts entering her dreams maybe, and she's drawing pictures of it. And the pastor knows something's wrong, but he can't quite figure it out. And there's all sorts of intrigue in the town. And then people start dying or disappearing. Horrible things start happening. I think she's possessed and they tried to kill her, but it doesn't work. And then for the ending, it can kind of go a bunch of different ways. Let's see on the IMDb here. Severed Son. I like the name. Shot last year. Magpie lives in an isolated church community ruled over by her father, the pastor. When a man is murdered, paranoia sets in and the people start to whisper about a strange beast that lives in the forest. So is the beast real or not is probably the question of the movie. Interesting. And then finally, The Ruse. Now this is a more modern horror movie where a nurse has to take care of an older woman. I think she had some fame when she was younger, and her house is haunted by her late husband, or at least she tells her that. Weird stuff starts to happen. There are other characters locally, but she starts to feel cooped up, and then discovers that her previous caretaker died. But the old woman says, no, she left me. And then something happened to her. So they kind of refer to this as some sort of murder mystery, but so I'm not sure. Maybe it's more grounded. Maybe there's no ghost, but it kind of seems like there's a ghost. But that may be part of the ruse. Yeah, I don't recognize the actresses' names, although one of them looks vaguely familiar. Written and directed by Steven Mina. I mean, it looks solid, sort of meat and potatoes, mystery and or ghost haunting. They don't show a ghost in it, so it kind of could go either way. Kind of hard to tell. But the quality seems to be there, as near as I could tell with the acting. I mean, I really believe the actors, but they're in very grounded sort of realities. Appears to be a badge on his belt, so I guess that's a cop. I'm wondering what he's investigating. So, first act, she takes the job with the old woman in her new house. She tells her it's haunted by her late husband, but don't worry, he'll leave you alone. Second act, if it's called the Ruse, maybe the Ruse is trying to convince the young caretaker that the ghost is real, but it's really not. Something like that. Third act, it says horror thriller here. Third act, the real killer is revealed. I don't think it's the old woman. The ruse could be that the old woman is not all that sick and is mobile. Maybe it's one of the other characters. I don't know. Oh, here's a write-up. When the in-home caregiver assigned to an elderly patient mysteriously vanishes, Dale is quickly sent as a replacement nurse. She rushes to the remote seaside home, only to find herself in the middle of chaos, forced to deal with an unruly patient, mysterious neighbors, and terrifying supernatural occurrences that seem to plague the home. Is the house haunted, or something even more malevolent to blame? As the walls close in, unsure whom she can trust, Dale fears for her life and that of her patient. Starring the legendary Veronica Cartwright from Alien and the Witches of Eastwick. You won't want to miss this scary thriller. Keeps you guessing to the very end. Who was she in Alien? I think the girl with the curly hair. The one who cries? Yeah, it would have to be, right? I don't think there's any other women in the crew in that movie. Almost sure. Let's see. The Ruse. Veronica Cartwright. Oh. I'm not recognizing her. Let's see. Let us go back in time to the 1970s. Check her cred here. Wow, her creds go all the way back to 58. Wow, how old is she? She gotta be up there. All right, 79. Alien. She's Lambert. Yeah, I guess that's... Yeah, there's only one other woman in the crew. So, yeah. I guess it would have to be her. The one who's crying. Okay. All right. People change so much over the years. It's hard to tell. Now, when was she born? Her career starts at 49. Okay, so she is 51 plus 25, so 76. Okay. So she's up there. Looks pretty good in that one. Doesn't appear to be super old. All right. So I got 3 really decent looking flicks here. The Ruse, Severed Son, and Sketch. What do I put on the bottom? Man, that's tough. I probably put the Ruse on the bottom. Again, it's a close call, but it's a little plain. The other two have a little more going for it, but I would totally see this. Totally. Number 2, probably be the Severed Son. Looks very scary. The quasi-religious themes, they kind of get tiresome to me after a while, but if it's a cool horror movie, I can tolerate it. And number 1, I got to go with Tony Hale. The man is a comedy genius. I would probably see this, even though it's really more of a movie for kids, but just because Hale's in it, and I think it would be pretty palatable. I probably wouldn't go to the theaters for that one, though. Wait on streaming, but yeah, sure. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan somewhere behind me. Thanks for tuning in today. What's coming up? Oh, tomorrow. Now, I've been talking about my events all week, and of course, I got one of the places wrong. So tomorrow is the event for Cape Con. Cape Con. Now, I've been saying CIL City all week. I think it was the library that invited me. They're all in the same like district that's in Cape May, but the actual event is being held in Cape May Courthouse, which is not as far south. So Cape May Courthouse tomorrow, 10 to 4, is where the event's being held. Cape Con. It is an all ages event, so I got to watch myself. Then on Sunday, go to Ocean City. That one I did get right. It's OC Con. That actually goes on Saturday too, but I'll only be there on Sunday from 10 to 4 on the Music Pier. On the Music Pier. So come on out for that. So it's going to be a big weekend. Going to be a lot of fun. And then on Sunday night, of course, we do the live stream where we do it live. And this Sunday, I promised we'd do some sort of drinking game. So, you know, I love that. Now, I'm not going to drink. I'm going to drink iced tea, but you drink whatever you want. And remember, watch my videos responsibly. And that's it for me, Tony D. We'll see you in the next one.